distinguished guests, friends, colleagues. As we come to the close of the Groundwater Strategy Summit 2025, I would like to begin with a simple expression: thank you. Thank you for giving us not just your time, but your thinking, your experiences, your questions, and at some points, your challenges as well. If there is one thing that has been very clear today, it is that the groundwater is no longer a technical footnote. It is central to how we think about cities, agriculture, industry, infrastructure, climate resilience, and ultimately the kind of future that we want to build. Today's conversation have reminded us of something very important, and I think it was said multiple times earlier today, that groundwater may be invisible, but the consequences are not. Why today we are celebrating a landmark, but this summit was deliberately designed not as a ceremonial gathering, but as a working forum. The program that you engaged with today spans governance, technology, climate resilience, agriculture, industry, finance, community-led initiatives, and stewardship. That breadth was intentional, because groundwater problems do not arrive neatly categorized. We need systems thinking. Across sessions, a few strong messages were very clearly, they emerged very clearly, that data without governance is ineffective. Technology without trust does not scale, and policy without implementation remains an aspiration. And perhaps most importantly, no single institution, sector, or discipline can solve this challenge alone. We need design thinking. In that sense, today has been less about finding perfect answers, but more about getting aligned on this extremely important topic of groundwater strategy. So why does this moment matter? See, Rajasthan's groundwater situation places it among the most stressed regions in the country, and I think that was also said earlier. The climate variability, while we have places that are extremely dry, but then we have places that are extremely wet as well. Urban growth, unplanned urban growth, agricultural demand, and industrial expansion are converging in ways that make past approaches ineffective. And then at national level, India relies on groundwater more than any other country in the world. And globally, water stress is becoming fast a defining constraint on development. So when we speak about groundwater, we are not speaking about one sector or one ministry. We are talking about livelihoods, food security, economic resilience, and social stability. This is why the summit was aligned with these 7 sustainable development goals. Particularly, I would like to stress on number 6, which is clean water and sanitation. But number 9, 11, 12, 13, and 17 are not symbolic. They are practical. Groundwater security sits at the intersection of people, planet, and prosperity. And today we have heard another P, partnerships. Allow me to make an observation before we move on. Many conferences claim to be interdisciplinary. This one actually proved to be one. At various points today, we heard hydrogeologists discussing finance, and engineers who were debating governance, and policy professionals who were talking about digital tools and digital twins. That alone is progress. Because when everyone stays comfortably within their own discipline and within their own silos, the groundwater problems remain comfortably untouched. As we look ahead, I want to share a thought that is very famously attributed to Klaus Schwab, who was the founder of World Economic Forum. And he says that in the new world, it is not the big fish that eats the small fish. It is the fast fish that will outperform the slow fish. And I find this particularly relevant for our topic of discussion today, because the organizations and the cities and the systems that will succeed are not only those with the largest budgets or the longest legacy, They are the ones that will learn to adapt, course correct, fail fast but fall forward, and act with speed and intelligence. Agility in this context does not mean acting without care. It means acting without delay. With that in mind, it is important that we capture what this day has been about. What I hope you all have in your hands now is the resolution document of this summit. This resolution is not a policy document. It's not a prescription also. Rather, it is a collective statement of intent within this room. It has two major parts. One that reflects the shared understanding, the principles on which we are going to make our decisions. And the direction that we are going to take forward from here on. So at its core, the resolution recognizes that the groundwater is a shared, finite and strategic resource. It underpins water security for cities, agriculture, industry, infrastructure and ecosystems. And yet it is under increasing pressure from over-abstraction, climate variability, urbanization, industrial demand, and I think this was highlighted earlier as well, fragmented governance. So this resolution affirms that durable groundwater outcomes require three things to come together. First, science. Groundwater management must be science-led, data-informed, and risk-aware. Decisions must be grounded in monitoring, modeling, and evidence, not assumptions. Second, governance. Governance frameworks must promote equity, transparency, and accountability, while still enabling development. Regulation, allocation, and enforcement must be measurable, credible, and ethical. Third, partnerships and sustainability. Long-term water security depends on collaboration across government, industry, academia, civil society, and the third sector. No single institution can do this alone. So this resolution also recognizes a reality that has featured strongly throughout today's session, that climate change intensifies both drought and flood risks. Recharge, resilience, and adaptive planning are no longer optional. They are essential. So turning to the specific resolutions endorsed, I hope, by this summit, participants will agree on a set of practical priorities that you see in your hand now. These include strengthening regulatory frameworks so that groundwater abstraction, recharge, and reuse are transparent and accountable. Embedding stormwater harvesting, managed aquifer recharge, and water reuse into urban, industrial, and infrastructure planning. And then linking groundwater allocation to recharge and impact through monitoring and performance-based management systems. There is also a strong emphasis on scaling real-time monitoring, hydrogeological modeling, and digital tools to support climate-informed decisions, integrating drought and flood risk assessment into groundwater strategies, and advancing partnerships across public, private, academic, and community sectors to move from pilots to scalable delivery models. Importantly, the resolution aligns these actions with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which is a particular area of interest for me, and with national policy guidance, including the work of NITI Aayog. Every talk that you heard was aligned with some United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and some NITI Aayog priorities to support, obviously, the planning and cooperative federalism. The resolution concludes with a clear set of next steps. The outcomes of this summit will be documented through a summit note and proceedings. Priority themes will be taken forward through follow-up dialogue, studies, and pilot initiatives, as many of us have committed today, subject to obviously institutional mandates. Institute of Water Conservation will continue to act as a neutral convener of knowledge exchange and collaboration, and GWMICC and partners contributing the technical insight and the case studies of impactful work that is happening in India today. Success, as the resolution notes, will depend on voluntary engagement, institutional responsibility, and sustained collaboration beyond today. Are there any observations at this time or any objections that anyone would like to say about the summit note, the resolution note? If not, then I would consider the silence as assent.
No value addition. We can do some value addition. There is a note, say, because we feel rain harvesting and other issues are only season specific, maybe 3 months or 4 months a year. But we as granted can also suggest around the year how best we can recharge through air water generators, because ultimately air has a big source of water as compared to groundwater. This is our finding.
Well, absolutely, and thank you for that. Please, if you could provide the suggested language, we would be very happy to add that. But apart from that, one observation. If there is agreement, ladies and gentlemen, then I would like to formally state
campaigns or programs are also very, very important where public is a participant.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pragyaji, for that, because one of the aims of Institute of Water Conservation is to spread this awareness, spread the training, the awareness about policy and governance that is missing today about these very important issues. So, with your agreement, I would like to, are there any other suggestions?
Saving in terms of water remain silent in this summit. Basically, we are seeing this thermal power. Each unit consumes 4 liters of water. And there are 10,000 megawatts of plant in Rajasthan. However, there is 30,000 megawatt is solar. But solar is only 6 hours or 8 hours. So now there is a need to replace aging thermal plants with concentrated solar power plants, which gives 24/7 power.
Right,
And saving of 4 liters of water per unit of generation.
Right. So the point is that we should find wasteful uses of water, not just this particular, but other wasteful. And I think that is there, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Well, but please, once again, send us the language, and we will incorporate it. Any more? Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, with your agreement, I would like to formally state that the summit resolution of the Groundwater Strategy Summit 2025 was formally adopted here in Jaipur, in Rajasthan International Center on 27th December. Thank you. It is a collective voice it is our collective voice and intent in this room over here. And may I now ask once more to give yourselves a big round of applause for this. Thank you. These are the commitments that will sit with us now. And while the resolutions will give us direction, it is the people and the institution and the community who will turn this direction into action. So before we conclude, it is my privilege to offer a sincere vote of thanks. I would like to formally thank all of our guests of honor, Dr. Indra, Chief Guest. Sorry. No. I thought someone was saying something. No? Okay. So Chief Guest, Justice N.K. Jain, Special Guest, DG Pragya. She's still there. Thank you. And our keynote speaker, Dr. Sushil. You brought depth, clarity, and honesty into complex discussions. And I must say, anyone who still believes that groundwater is a narrow technical subject clearly did not attend all the sessions and was doing too much networking. Thank you.